Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yay.
Here,
Hello,
hello, we're here.
I'm going to start
we have
discussing controversial
everybody.
topics.
Here.
You know what? Women, women, right?
I hate when women.
Ugh, women.
Funny.
Anyways, happy
Hey, we should start a
Thanksgiving to the
podcast.
Canadians who listen. Ours coming
Oh.
up at least. We have our Thanksgiving in October.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't celebrate.
Happy Thanksgiving
Schedule.
to those who do
I
celebrate.
don't know what exactly it is. I don't
To
know.
those who don't, have a good day.
Canadian.
Or don't. We can't control what you do.
True.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If you don't want to have a good day, fuck you. Go have a good day.
Fuck you. Start now. Have a bad day.
Oh, so it's on Monday. It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could have just fucking asked
Yeah.
Frank. He was also
could've.
Canadian.
Yeah. I was
Jeez.
right here waiting. And you never out?
Why did you say something?
Because
Time
it's
to
funnier this
go.
way.
Fuck
I'm
you.
going to go shill our game to my friends now.
True.
Go do that. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
the chat and make fun of your friends when they say stupid things.
Yeah, all my friends are at work right now.
Damn, Mel.
Yay for
I don't have
employment.
friends.
Who for it being right now.
I was just saying,
What am I right here, you know?
listen. Tries
out
to
to
barely
Mel.
unemployed.
Shout out to my friends. Shout out to Goblin Country.
Goblin Country. I'm okay. You guys should do recap while I get more lasagna.
Lasagna?
Lasagna.
Yeah.
Do the recap.
Who would like to do the recap for a point of inspiration?
Ooh.
Okay, question regarding that, actually.
Ooh.
Yes.
Are we, for space's sake, should we recount the last few sessions, or do you just want to give inspiration for just the last session?
We should probably recount the last few sessions. That now that you bring it up, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Which
Cool.
I do think it was just the horror fight and last session.
Yeah, we had a few fights. We had a couple. We
Space, you were here for the Periton fight, yes?
no, I don't think so.
Well, I was here. We had one first Periton fight, and then the Jack-o'-lantern fight. What the hell that was called?
Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, it is just the horror fight, the session with the horror fight, and then this fight. It's just we've had to miss a few sessions because also I had to pull some extra hours at work. So
You good?
yeah, I mean
Not
that's
even
why we
more.
weren't able to play 2 weeks ago.
And we okay. I don't know. I guess I'll do it. So we decided to have well, how do I say? Sorry,
You can do it.
I'm slightly distracted at the moment as I am retrieving a little shit cat from our rooms.
Which one?
Mufasa.
Hi, Mufasa.
He's a little.
Remember who you are.
He loves to scream and scratch at things, and I don't know what he wants ever. Anyway. So after the Pumpkinhead fight, we had gone into investigate a little bit further into the cause of Pumpkinhead. We, I believe, followed the magical trail a little bit further, and eventually we discovered a large, like, straight line of just death and decay going through the forest. It was about a 20-foot wide line that just went straight off in two directions. One of which was back towards where we came from. We followed it back where we came and found the remains of Pumpkinhead and the magnificent jack-o'-lantern that I had carved him into, rotten and decayed, as if weeks or maybe even months had passed, and I was very sad. We did not think we could make it back to the village in time, so we decided to stake out for the night and see if whatever this monster was would come to us. It did. And it was an amalgamation of a lot of the things that we had seen thus far. There were viney roots, there were dead periton, there were dead animal skulls. It had like an assortment of skulls for a face. And we had to combat it. We did battle, and we did fine. Though part of the way through, Saya had some innate instincts kick in because she got knocked out. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I had to check Saya's pronouns. She, her. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she got knocked down pretty brutally, from what I remember. And when she got back up, her instincts were screaming at her, "Get the fuck out!" So she did, and she started running. So, me,
Like a coward.
So myself, Nymeria, and Oleander were left to finish the fight. We ended up doing so just before Saya had made it out of the map.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we called her back, and one of them, I believe, it might have been Oleander or Nymeria, one of the more magical folk, noticed that whatever magical tether had been controlling this thing was retracting, like my mental image is like a rubber band. Like it got cut at this end, and so it retreated back away into the forest. But we decided that, hey, it's been a few days since we've reported back in, and for our own safety and for letting the people of the village know that we're not dead and that we have succeeded at our task, we should go back. And thus we did. We made it back to the village, reported on everything we had seen. Apparently, the advice we had given them about the twig blights came in handy because twig blights had attacked the lumber yard whilst we were
Yeah.
gone. I handed out a lot of pumpkin pie, so that was good.
Of course you did.
We also met a. Let me just make sure I have the correct. We met a Captain Genthry. Also speaking to the sheriff, and we learned that the some very important people were out of town at the moment. People who were able to access a oh god, I can't remember. It might be like a sending orb of some kind.
Essentially, a coded sending orb
Yeah.
that's supposed to be used for emergencies like this. But as you said, the chief brother of the village is currently out to get a new acolyte, and the mayor died in their sleep a few weeks ago.
So, at the moment, we are having some downtime, waiting for the priest and the acolyte to come back. And we have about a week, I believe. So we had started up on our downtime activities. Notably, we went through mine, which was I restocked on my herbs and spices for my mobile kitchen, and I bought some other items.
They're horny.
Okay,
It's
I
horny.
bought a
Oh.
spice. I bought a spicy item
I see.
for Maynhild, literally spicy.
I see.
As well as some other useful things, which I swear if I didn't put them on my sheet, I will be upset. Yeah, I bought Tooney's Extra Strength Herbicide, which does really good against plant-based creatures. Which, you know, we've been fighting some plant-based creatures,
Yep.
so I bought that as well. And that was overall pretty good. Saya stopped in to see if they had anything that would be good for her. I don't think they did.
Nope. And so what Saya did is like, I need a paralysis or
Yeah,
knockout.
you walked into like an herbs and potion shop and asked for poisons, and so they were like, "We don't have that. That's concerning."
Saya does not read the situation at all. Like, can you make them? Like, hello?
And the answer was maybe.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
Also,
no, Saya, Greed helped out. And it's like, hey, they're a monster hunter, it's chill, they're in my party, and managed to convince the owner to make Saya, or attempt to make Saya this thing. This poison.
Yeah.
Yep, Steve.
Greed managed to carry you in through that request.
And I think that's where the session ended before we could get to either of the other twos.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it.
things.
Did you mention that we got deputized as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got deputized. We've been unofficially / officially deputized to keep guard over the town while we're waiting here.
And you are getting paid for it, 10 gold a day, each person.
Damn.
Yeah, but the sheriff was like, hey, I'd appreciate if you didn't arrest just anybody. He's like, if you
I'm gonna go
see
immediately abuse my power.
Yes.
Just don't go on a
Essentially-
fucking white man.
Excuse me. Oleander, his art might be a little bit fucking pale, but he's not a white man.
He's white passing. How dare he?
He is white pass. Oh no, he's white passing.
The Sunmore wizard.
He's. I'm sure you realize the oxymoron in that sentence.
Go kill some goblins for experience points.
Wait, what was the oxymoron?
Get out in the sun, wizard. Famously a bookworm. TM.
I'm
So,
really stupid. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I just have one quick question before we jump into the session.
Yo, what's up?
Greed,
Yeah.
refresh my memory. Are you spending downtime with Maynhild?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a full week. I'm gonna spend a downtime with Maynard. Oh yeah, there were also jokes about I think Greed fucking for a full 24 hours,
Yes.
something like that, or just the whole week.
Greed saw one gilf and just went off the deep end.
Listen, I have
Like,
no excuse.
it took me literal, actual, in real time years to initiate a PC to PC romance with his last character. And we're dating in real life.
A lot of my characters just fuck now. They just do.
Yes. Apparently that was the catalyst, and now everyone fucks.
Yeah.
Including spaceships. Apparently,
Oh my god.
Oh.
Spaceships are
nice.
not off the list.
spaceships are very firmly on the list.
That is a story we'll have to get some other time.
Some other time.
Good
Haven't
segue,
heard
DM.
that.
Good segue.
Yes, as we jump in
I'm sorry.
once again to the village of Second Crossing, where we're actually gonna rewind time a bit
Okay.
to that Shambling horror fight, just because there was one detail that wasn't passed along, and that was about Oleander. Actually, it was pretty important.
And me.
But I'm not
Oh yeah,
surprised.
something weird happened.
Yes, so when the
yeah.
Shambling Horror came out and Oleander saw it, for Oleander, what happened to you was all of a sudden your vision tunneled onto the skull, the human skull that was in the middle of the tree. And it got so silent and you just couldn't break away. And it just kept looming closer and closer. It was all that you could see. And you did manage to break away, but you did have disadvantage on some saves during that fight, while also having a symbol light up your forehead, just purple glowing symbols. It was a circle in the center. On either side was a sideways diamond. And then at the end were 2 stars. One on each end is what I meant to describe that as. And so once the horror was dead and you came back to yourself fully, that faded away. And you don't really have any answers for that. And so over these past few days into this downtime, you have felt literally unsettled, like the entire world is at an angle, and you've been walking across it straight and you feel sick and clammy. When you tried to go to sleep, it's been restless and there's something going on there. But when you wake up, you don't remember until this second night of downtime, where you vision, you see through someone else's eyes. First, it is dark and gloomy, and it's almost like there's a veil, or maybe the vision isn't just great. Like, you can see people walking, you can see the shapes of lights against stone walls, but it's all blurry and indistinct. There's nothing definition to anything. And then hearing comes, and it's muffled, and from a good distance, you hear quiet murmurings of conversation, of feet walking across a stone floor, things being packed up into crates and possibly loaded onto carts, maybe. And then comes a smell. It is earthy and rotten and somewhat like a swamp. And that's just, in the moment all of that comes, the vision begins to move past you, as if the person whose eyes you're looking behind is walking forward. And it goes on for quite a bit, where everything is just muffled, and it's all of your senses seem to be secured in some fashion, unable to focus. And you're distantly aware that something is going on, but you're unable to really actually think you are fully a passenger in this moment, eventually you do come to something that takes on more definition. A tall figure. When it gets close enough, you realize they're human in this very ostentatious black and gold surcoat, and shiny black pants with gold trim all the way down to their boots that are laced up very high. You see a head full of white hair and a hunched figure, as if they spent their entire life leaning over a desk, scribbling away at something. And you also begin to hear muttering. Fools, a lot of them. My brother, the greatest fool of them all. How could he botch things up so much? It's perfect. And they gave it to him. They gave it to him. Why? And suddenly this figure snaps towards your direction, looking at you, but you can't see the face. You know that their skin is very pale and pasty, but it's just that, a pale white orb, and you know that there are features there, but you can't make them out. And the figure raises a hand. Yes, give it to him. Give it to me now. And you see a hand, still very blurred and indistinct, present a book to this figure, who not quite snatches it, but definitely hurriedly grabs it and begins leading through it and muttering so low that you can't hear them. And it goes on for another few minutes until finally they snap the book shut and say, "Yes, I was right. Can't be done. Just the matrix. It'll grow with it, and it can be released now. And it can prove them wrong. Yes. Come." And without even turning to look at you, begins to walk away. And as they do, everything will even more becomes obscured and more heavily muted sight and sound, except smell that begins to grow stronger, especially that rotten, matted swamp stink grows more pervasive in your nostrils. And once again, you are stuck like this for minutes, with no way to have any control or even full thoughts. Until eventually, almost like with a sudden jerk to you, things come to a stop, and you see the clearest detail so far is this massive stone door, 20 feet across, circle in the center of an even larger stone wall with dark, scribblings, scrawls across it. And you're not able really to make out what's being, but you see suddenly this white-haired figure raise up their hand and begin to mutter something. And for you, that hand comes into such sharp focus. You can see excessively trimmed nails down to the very possible shortest length they can go without rendering a person to bleed. Again, that pale, pasty skin, dry and cracked. And so you see it begin to make motions, and though that's what becomes the center of your vision, you begin to hear resuscitation of words. And you, Leander, as this goes on for minutes as well, begin to pick out a pattern. I delve deeper in that pattern and realize this is unlocking where I truly complex set of wards to keep whatever's in here sealed away. And as the motions are made and the words are said, as this magic is cast, you see those scribblings begin to slowly light up on the door, and they begin to spiral inward. And so a truly massive arcane lock begins to glow and pull away from the edge of this door, sliding inwards. But just as it reaches towards the center, towards that final magical tumbler, the hand freezes, the words cut out, and you feel a sharp pain beneath your ribcage, and you look down. Then, piercing through your chest, the most vibrant red you've ever seen, is a sword. And you wake up.
Great. I love that for me.
You didn't got stabbed.
Yep. Yeah, I think Oleander does like the character waking up in a movie, like bolt upright, grabs at his own chest type thing to kind of get his bearings.
Big gasp.
Yeah. Large air intake. Large what the fuck moment.
Yes. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I take it this is like middle of the night, and the rest of the team is asleep.
It seems deep into the night, yes.
Okay. Oleander will make a note of what he saw and then try to get some more sleep, because it may very well just be a bad dream. I'm sure he still feels nauseous and icky, because that feels like the theme here.
You do feel bad, but also like you're sick, but the fever just broke, and you're past the worst of it.
Hashtag feels bad, man. Yeah, he will. Hi! Sorry, I have Squig climbing onto my shoulder.
Hi, Squig.
Excuse me. Yeah, he will make a note of what he saw and then attempt to get more sleep, but this feels like a situation where he's probably not gonna get much more sleep. And probably spend the rest of his evening going over the notes until someone else wakes up.
Okay, well, Greed is at Maynard's house. So
Squig, please, my audio.
who would be up first, Saya or Nymeria?
Squeaky.
I don't know. What is Cyan thinking of doing?
I mean, what I was saying is that Saya's probably going to be just spending most of the week kind of patrolling outside of the... bless you! Patrolling around the town. Yeah, she's not going to be really sticking around doing much anything interesting.
Cool. Then
Large
it's
valid.
up-
Okay.
It's up to me
Uh,
then.
Right now,
She does not
Would
want to hang
you
out
be
with the
an
party.
early
She feels
riser?
bad.
who would be
Yes.
the first to wake up, Saya or Nymeria?
Ooh.
I feel like we established that Nymeria is like a midday sleeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nymeria sleeps in
We
a
did,
lot.
actually. So,
Nymeria sleeps like a teenager.
Exactly.
That's one thing I do remember.
Yeah.
Split my
Yeah.
time away.
Yeah.
yeah, so Oleander, the first person you encounter, would be Saya.
Yeah, Oleander probably looks a little bit rattled. He's like not dressed for the day yet, very much like still in his bedclothes with his coat tossed over it. Just like a little bit frazzled, probably just taking notes, and probably honestly doesn't notice that Saya gets up.
Oh yeah, we share a bed, don't we? Not share a room,
Yeah,
share a room,
it was
share a
only
room,
one bed.
Oh.
share a room.
Oh.
A room.
My brain was gonna say bedroom, but I'm like, no, it's not a bedroom, it's a tavern, so I just cut off at bed.
It wouldn't be D&D without the horny, would it?
Yep.
They've pushed their beds together sleepover style.
Oh my god, no, that no. No.
We put our Minecraft beds together.
Saya would like like literally move into a completely different Minecraft house if that fucking happened. Like, okay, I'm moving. Goodbye.
Only there's the same way.
Damn.
Fucking poor Greed. Just like, what? We could cuddle on the Minecraft bits.
Greed just sees that the entire party could fit on 2 beds to push together.
Greed takes off his little fluffy pajama hat very sadly.
Oh no!
Oh baby. But no, so like Saya's probably like got up and is just getting ready for the day, like very much just ignoring Oleander. Like what happened to him was his issue. Like that's a him problem. Saya also is still not really wanting to face the party after what happened during the nightmare fight, or like the spooky bone fight. Fuck, what's it called?
The shambling horror.
Yeah, the shambling horror fight. Not really wanting to really make eye contact and talk about that shit. So just avoiding people. Don't mind her.
I think Oleander would eventually notice like a delayed, like, oh, you're awake. A quick thing before you leave. Seems odd. I had a bit of a, I want to say nightmare, but it doesn't quite feel like a dream. No dream logic applying. And can I just relay like the gist of what I just went through on that?
You may.
Yeah, Oleander will just kind of like relay the.
Can you
like,
give me a quick
dream.
fucking brief summary? Because I zoned
Yeah.
out.
Would Saya care enough to listen?
Like, the thing is, she won't actively show that she's listening. Like, she's, like, still putting on her boot. Like, she didn't turn, like, she turned around, like, to peek over her shoulder and be like, oh, like, brief thing. But then when, like, as he's talking about the dream, she's like, okay, whatever. And goes back to it. But Olander would probably see, like, her one ear, like, an ear perked up. Like, she is listening.
Yeah,
See,
I feel like at
because-
this point Oleander would know she's gonna do her own thing anyways, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of talking at her.
Yeah.
In summary,
Yes, DM.
Oleander had a vision of somewhere dark. Their senses were heavily obscured, but there was a earthy, rotten swamp smell that was constant or getting stronger. Whoever they were seeing through the eyes came to a figure dressed in black and gold with white hair. Demanded a book from the vision person, while ranting about fools, and their brother was the biggest fool of them all. But that it was possible to salvage their efforts. They went deeper into wherever this is, before coming to a large stone door, which had an arcane lock that the figure with white hair began to unlock until suddenly they were cut off, and the vision looked down to see they were stabbed, and Oleander felt that pain.
Ooh. Okay. So I kind of like listens, and like as like she's like finishing like strapping the last parts of her armor on, and like looks over and it's like, is there a point to you telling me this? Don't think I recognize anything. Because
I just have my concerns about if it's, I don't know, like I said, it didn't feel like a dream per se. It just, I can't explain it. It feels like it's related to whatever we're going through currently.
because I would
I've been feeling off after the horror, and this just feels like a culmination of sorts. I don't think it's just a nightmare.
DM, because I wouldn't have recognized anything that in that dream sequence that Oleander told me, right?
You, if you want to, make a difficult history check.
Oh shit.
We love a difficult history check.
Oh,
Of a
oh
ze-
shit.
I have a flat 10 intelligence.
Well, hey, it
Roll-
can't get worse
roll
than when the
high.
dice roll.
Roll high.
Great for a nat 20.
It's not.
Do it anyways.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
Decent on any other time.
Well, would it be at an advantage because of my funny blood hunter thing? Maybe.
You're funny.
Okay, that has to do with undead and fiends, correct?
It's advantage on recalling history about fey fiends or undead. And advantage on intelligence ability checks recalling information.
Unfortunately not.
Damn.
Unless.
Well, hey, at least it's not Fey Fiend or an undead.
Yeah.
Because could I argue that maybe I'm trying to recall if any of the Fey Fiend or Fair Fiends might do these kind of prophecies? Or dream sequences that are not dreams?
Would fit that description.
A lot of things can give prophetic dreams.
Damn it. I tried. Saya kind of just gives a shrug and just I understand your concern, but again, I can't help you.
That's fair. I'll bring it up to the rest of the team and see what they think.
Good luck. And Saya kind of shuffles awkwardly out of the fucking the room.
Good luck. I gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye.
Say leaves like a half-eaten breakfast.
Honestly, probably, yeah.
What the fuck is that supposed to be?
Just fucking leaves. Too awkward. Don't want to be around.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
So then, Oleander, would you try to track down the other two members of your party?
I'll wait to give them both the story at the same time.
Yeah, so we can say this happens at some point during downtime. Maybe you guys make sure to get back together for lunches.
Greed would make sure, at least.
Wasn't
Whether
there a
Saya
village
wants it or not.
Psychic,
Who knows?
or there was a village mage of some sort that is.
Yeah, there's Arcanist Donafel.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would probably seek him out to be like, hey, what the fuck?
I had a vision.
Okay.
Like,
I will say you can also attempt a history check.
I would love to do that.
Oleander.
Ooh.
It was not prompted at the time, so I was unsure.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah, I've got a +6.
That-
10.
That
Damn.
is-
Real middle of the road.
I cannot
Yeah,
believe I rolled
really.
better than you.
Damn.
Get better.
Yeah, that was a 4. So you are trained though. So
Would I get advantage because of it?
you don't get advantage, but you
Yeah.
do know. You remember something because you're a study person. You had to learn some bits of history. If nothing else, in ethics class, you learned what not to do, and we're taught about the Imperials, and that's what is something in your brain, like piecing together. That may have been a uniform they were wearing.
Oh.
And we dislike the Imperials, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
I always have a hard
Or
time
like
being
them.
organizations straight.
They're bad people.
Yeah, the Empire occupied the basin for decades.
Right, and this is
Yeah.
right aftermath. Yep.
Yes, and it has been decades since they were expelled, but there are still many scars.
Mm.
Mm.
Um. Okay, good information to have. I would relay that to the team and then seek out the mage.
Okay. So I will say that both Nami and Greed, if they so choose, can make history checks. Greed, though,
Yeah,
will have advantage.
The fuck?
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
You would see like a angry looking sneer at the mention of Imperials
Hmm.
from Greed.
Oh, Nymeria. Nymeria still half
Nymeria.
asleep. Only to be out
Nymeria.
until she was late.
18.
18.
Let's go.
God damn, Greed.
That's pretty good. That you are positive that this was like some like sub-organization during the occupation. You can't remember one, so specifically. It maybe something obscure or scarce here in one of their outlying provinces, as they like to call the basin. But
All right.
yeah, that is likely in Imperial uniform or what you, and you know it's not something common.
Some black and gold robe. You said right?
Something
Black and
sort
gold surcoat,
Black and gold suit.
and like
That's
very high button neck, like
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I have it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get much. Some kind of small, little magic group. I was out here in one of the provinces. The big air quotes. Just, I can tell you that's imperial for sure, but not that common.
Hmm. That's what I'd figured.
Mm.
It's just something to keep in the mind, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll definitely hold on to that one.
I'm concerned about what it means for us going forward. It seems the door is what's getting me. I don't know. Something about it.
Well, perhaps that Arcanist fella can tell you.
Potentially. Or at least check in.
so.
Uh,
Wherever you might expect to find records of the occupation, there might be more information there.
Mm.
Can Greed come along with Oleander, or do you want to do this solo, Space?
They will not say no to company and a big strong man flanking them so they don't get mauled and or
Okay.
mugged.
Give
Yeah,
dog privileges.
This
Yeah.
has this has piqued Greed's interest, even if he is
Yeah.
more angry about it.
Oleander is very wiry and very wearing jewelry.
He's fine. We're deputies. Nobody's gonna touch us. Greed
I
has
just
this
have my
massive
concerns.
cleaver.
Sure, I can, do what needs to be done with magic, but also, I think a single punch would lay me out flat, so I'd
I saw
rather
you
not take
break
the
a
chance.
man's legs without touching him.
Yes, and other things, but if somebody gets the jump on me and I'm surprised and they manage to get off a stab or a punch, I'm done.
All right, that's fair.
So yes,
Okay.
they will probably go chat with the local other wizard, Arcanist, whatever we're calling him at the moment. Magic
Arcanist.
man.
So you guys are going to check out the Arcanist. Saya is exploring the outskirts of town to make sure nothing happens, and Nymeria wanted to go check out the Dermic estate and that job offer they got. Now,
Yeah. Make them more
So-
money while we're waiting around.
yeah. So, Greed and Oleander are going to the Arcanist. Are either of the other two of you going to accompany them, in which case your stuff gets put off for the day? Or will you do your own thing, and so will happen at this day at the same time that the wizard visit is happening?
Nymeria would probably leave. She's not that interested in this whole business of dreams. Who cares about that?
It's in character for Nymeria. It's fine. It's like, yeah, but there's money over here.
Yeah,
It's so
but
real
how
of her,
about-
though.
Ooh, shiny. I respect a girl who knows what she wants.
Exactly.
Mhm.
A little bit of this rubs his fingers together. Rubs her fingers together.
So, okay. So then we'll radiate outwards from the center of town. So we'll start with the wizarding. So,
Wizarding. Sorry.
the
I'm a
wizarding.
wizard.
So, for Oleander and Greed, you come to probably the fourth or fifth largest building you've seen in town, and you've seen it a few times as you've gone back and forth over the bridge. And it's just a like large, in many ways, just a log cabin writ large, with a well-made, well-maintained. You do see three things that really stand out to you. First is the roof. Compared to everybody else, this is a tiled roof in various shades of blue transitioning into purple at the center. Second, lit instead of where one might expect to hang torches, there are simply just two stones, one on each side of the door, as well as at various points where it makes sense as street lights. Little crystals that right now didn't glow, but you have seen them shine brighter at night. And third is almost a small little dock that extends into the river. With like a nice shaded canopy. You don't see any boats right now. And actually, you guys as are crossing the bridge, both of you can give me a perception check.
Perception.
Greed
What?
will
Tens
Greed will
all
kinda-
session. Sorry, go ahead, Green.
Greed will kind of just nudge Oleander a couple times in the shoulder, just hey, and he points at the ceiling tiles. You match.
Oleander like jumps the first time that they're nudged.
Nat fucking 20, baby.
Holy
Greed,
shit.
go baby, go Greed.
I'm gonna blame this on Oleander still being like sickly and kind of stumbling. And Green is just like having a good time.
Okay.
It's currently in character for them.
So,
They're not paying attention.
Greed, in addition to your experience in the occupation, you are also probably the most well-traveled of the party. So because of this nat 20, give me a nature check.
All right. All right. My good streak couldn't hold out forever.
Yeah.
Now, if only it was a nat 1,
The highs and lows.
that would have been...
Yeah.
So,
How the mighty have
so
fallen.
what... Oleander, you just see a nice little dock without a boat in it. Greed, what you see is there is actually a ramp that descends into the water, and then also a very well designed ladder that juts down into the water as well, so that somebody can climb out.
Hmm.
He's dating a mermaid.
Oh my god.
That's the only conclusion that can be drawn from this.
As he deserves.
So you guys come to the house of Arkans Thornhell, and you stand outside the door. What would you like to do?
All right. You're the wizard, so is it a magic door? Am I gonna explode if I touch it?
I don't think so. It's in the middle of a town. Trapping something like that would be incredibly irresponsible and reckless. you're probably fine.
Probably.
All right.
As soon as Greed turns around to knock on the door, Oleander takes one large step back.
All right, I trust you. Knock, knock, knock.
That's your first
Greed
mistake.
explodes into fine red mist.
Knock, knock, boo.
So you knock on the door, and a few moments pass.
Do you think anybody's in there? I gotta knock again.
Give it a moment. It's
And
a large
you
house.
hear some footsteps, rather light footsteps, but you hear them all the same approach the door. And you
no.
see a knob turn, door pulls open, and you have to adjust your eyes and look down.
Oh.
And you see about 2.5 feet tall, reaching up to turn the knob, is what almost looks like a small earth elemental, very
Oh.
round,
Oh my
I
god.
love
in all shapes, wearing just a nice little bow tie suit.
I love him.
Pebble. He's a little pebble. I love him.
Little guys.
Arr.
I'm gonna name
Welcome.
you Dwayne. I had to.
Welcome to the house of Donafel. I am Pebble. How may I help you?
Hi, Pebble. Greed kind of like he's a fucking mountain of a man. So he is 8.5 feet tall. This thing is 2 feet tall. It doesn't even come up to his knee. So he's. So is it disrespectful if I kneel down to talk to you?
I do not have strong feelings in any particular direction.
All right.
You're just falling in beside Greed at this point.
He kneels down. We're here to ask your master, presumably, some questions. My friend here, Oleander, had a vision.
He waves uncomfortably.
Yeah. By the way, I like the you're very spiffy, Pebble. I like the outfit.
Thank you. I will inform Master Donafel that someone is approaching him for divinatory guidance. Please
You-
wait here.
Okay.
And he will shut the door and walk off.
I like that guy.
Oleander just kind of nods.
I want one.
He's a person, not an animal.
I mean, he seems like a little servant, little magic servant. Don't you
Sometimes-
wizards have that? It's a little familiars.
Familiars?
Yeah.
He seems sentient. Well, not that familiars aren't sentient. He seems like staff, not a magical companion.
Oh. All right. Even so, I like him.
If you'd like to hire a butler, we can definitely see if we can find one.
Oh. I'd probably hire him as more of a sous chef.
Either way, in our line of work, they're probably going to end up dead, so it might not be
That's
the
true.
best investment.
I would hate it to see someone like Pebble die.
I don't know if I think elementals just get sent back to the elemental plane, do they not?
I don't fucking know.
I can never. That might be devils. I might be thinking about devils. I can never remember. Interplanar beings get complicated.
Do you have a familiar?
No.
Oh.
The whole gravity thing, I had a couple get sucked into black holes, and that just
Oh.
it sort of sours the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I even tried a snake that on the person, that also didn't go well. Or the whole you've increased gravity in this 5-foot area, and I'm a small being with hollow bones, and that tends to go crunch.
Ooh.
It's just best for me to not have a familiar.
You
I
hear
do care
footsteps
very
once
much.
again approaching the door.
It's
Okay.
only it shuts up.
Quite no, you're the one here to talk. Hi there.
The door opens and you once again see Pebble.
Oleander didn't want to hear Pebble talking about him accidentally killing familiars.
Master Donatello will see you now, and he is grateful that you accepted his invitation.
Thank you very much.
Follow me.
Reed puts
And
a
so
hand
he
behind
steps
his
out of the
back
way
and
and gestures
pushes-
you guys inside.
Greed just pushes Oleander forward in front of him.
Oleander stumbles violently because Greed is a giant man.
We're here for you, and no more hide behind me.
He was in fact standing like a step behind Greed.
And so Pebble will shut the door behind you, and you see you're just in like a nice foyer with like light blue walls and a darker blue on the ceiling, a nice like pearl mural on the floor, and in it what looks like a stylized city inscribed into it. And then he leads you out of the foyer into a neighboring room, actually, and you
Where?
see. Oh, excuse me. Tried to burp, but it didn't want to come out.
Uh-oh.
No worries.
So, and you are led into another room that Oleander, you immediately know that the Arcane Master of Magic Angle is being played up. There are low-slung crystal lights throughout the room, very much in a mood-lighted way. There's almost seems to be like frozen fire that's dancing across the ceiling. And there are several pedestals throughout this room, which is a good 20 feet across on each side. With various items floating gently above them. You see 5 items. You see a pair of knitting needles, a large compass that is pulled out and almost has 3 different layers that all connect to each other, that all seem to be doing something different. You see a simple stone, probably about 8 inches across, that just has almost carved into it a pose of a man thinking. A set of boots that have a nice fur lining and seem to be very like a dark brown leather color to them. Oh, I said 5 items. I meant 4.
Mm.
By the way, the played up wizard aesthetic is very much working on Greed.
Is this
Wow.
the like modern day equivalent of going into anywhere that's like mildly spiritual and it's just plastered with like images of Buddha and like white sage bundles and you're kind of like
Not to that extent. You definitely get the feeling of like stepping into a place of business that's presenting mysticism, but not to such an egregious level. It's more like presenting a product, and that product is the magic that's going on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Not like
This is
walking
what I'm
to
about.
a mystical shop, it's like walking to a Starbucks. Everything's branded. And it's very, we sell coffee here. I get you.
And the brand is magic.
Nice.
It works on Greed.
Uh,
He's looking around. He's like almost touching stuff. And just, whoa.
Oleander like flicks his hand before he touches anything.
Look at his fires now. Fuck.
the fire does not burn you. It twirls
Oh.
about your hand before dancing away.
I'm
Perhaps
magic.
don't touch things. Usually magical artifacts are quite expensive, and if we break any, we won't
Oh.
be able to afford to replace it.
Oh,
Yeah. And you guys came in. Pebble came in with you, shut the door, and simply stood beside it, hands behind his back. And it takes a few moments before you see the other door into the room open. And you see wheeling themselves in on a wheelchair is a Triton.
Oh, Dad explains the. Okay.
Uh, give me a moment. Oh, damn it. I lost my description for Donatello.
Okay, I was say if you were.
Damn
if
you,
were-
Google Docs. You ate my notes again.
For half a second, I thought Donatello was just flabbergasted at Greed's reaction. Just what the what? That's not how you
Also,
greet
Greed is like
people.
stooped.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, Greed has hit his head on like 4 hanging
I
crystals
think
now.
it may be time to move from dual dogs. It's also
Yeah.
another other thing to consider. They are starting to take any writing on Google Docs to help AI stuff.
Feed it into AI. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
meaning to move off
Oh.
of Google Docs.
So it might
Yeah,
be
it's no
time,
fun.
Yeah.
Might be time to move on.
Yeah.
It's not I forgot like
maybe.
actual writing on Google Docs.
What?
Oh, I
So-
was just saying I've got actual writing on Google Docs. But anyways, I'm gonna let the DM continue.
Yeah, so you notice first at the top of their head they don't have any hair. They are bald. Male figure, sharp nose, and like almost like fish fins on the side of their head.
I only heard ish.
They are.
Did you mean
Sorry,
to
what
say-
was that?
I only heard ish fins.
Yeah, fish fins.
Okay, fish. That was the last.
Listen, when I give descriptions, I like to use my hands, and so I bump my headphones.
One. No, you're
But it
so
also
valid.
sucks
I
because you guys
get it.
can't see me doing all these motions that I do.
No, you're so real for that. I just wanted to make sure that I don't miss anything.
So, they are a riot of color. It seems to be from the top of their head. They are like a very bright green that like then waves into like transitions into waves of orange and then a darker shade of green, then a darker shade of orange, and it progresses downwards. And they are wearing a shirt that's buttoned up, like loose ruffles, and you see where legs would be on most people is a fishtail that has like almost a sarong wrapped around it as it's kind of like curled into a footrest and is a nice golden sheen. So, oh, wonderful. I'm Donovan, and really, and he's just wheeling himself closer to you, Oleander. It is fantastic to have somebody else of the arcane arts here in town. Please. And he goes to shake your hand. It is a pleasure to have you.
Oleander seems a bit surprised, especially because in comparison to Donatello, he just looks like a wreck. Like, he usually looks a little bit disheveled. Post the last couple of days, he's probably like just a little bit like sweaty, like clammy, like hair loose, just all a mess, and just like does the two-hand handshake, like clasps both of Donatello's hands in his own. It's just like, honestly, it's refreshing to me to know the magic user here as well. That is of the arcane inclination, other than just druids are lovely, and I have a couple in my party. Well, I have one in my party. She's fantastic, but yes, my sentiments exactly.
Yes, I love Second Crossing, and I didn't know what I'd get into when I joined up with the art program, but it can be very. I love the people here. Don't get me wrong, but it can just be nice to talk to somebody else that's passionate about your hobby. I say hobby, but it's more like way of life, which I truly hope that you are.
Oh, absolutely. I'm much the same. It's a lifestyle, you know.
Yes. And I can't be a bad host. You are quite large. Hello, I'm Donovan. And he also puts out a
Okay.
hand for you to shake.
Yeah, he will take it. I just recently got into a little bit of magic myself. I don't quite understand it in the way you do, but
Well, it's never too late, and if you ever have the time, I would love to discuss. If it's coming late into your life, I assume it must be some kind of innate magic. Like, please tell me what you feel comfortable sharing.
well, you go ahead. We are here for you. I'll kind of look at Oleander.
Oh, by all
Yes,
means. I was just probably going
Pebble
to take
did mention you were here to talk about some kind of vision. Which,
yes.
yeah.
Aside from the invitation, which is much appreciated, of course. Did you hear word at all about the mess that we dealt with the other day? With the whole, terrifying creature composed of bones and vines and that whole deal.
I did. Both the sheriff and the captain have come by to see what I can provide. I will not shirk my duty to help my home in any kind of trying time. But oh, sorry. I'm so used to just talking to people in my. I like to call it my emporium, but I don't have a lot at the moment. Please, I'll show you to a better guest room to sit and talk. There's no
Of
need to wait
course.
around here. Hello,
All right.
please go prepare some drinks for us. What would either of you like to drink?
What's your level of professionalism here? Because I'm gravitating towards more alcoholic stuff, but I don't know what you.
Personally, I
It's
could go for tea since it's midday.
Never too
Oh.
early.
He kind of shoots
Pebble,
Green a
so-
look of like, "Hey, man."
What?
we
Trying to make
have
a good impression
a
here.
Honestly, 17.
variety of
Wait, hold-
teas, ciders, and wine.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh, I changed my mind. Tea sounds good now that you said it earlier, and that sounds lovely.
Yes, I do so love a good green or herbal, so just surprise me.
And
Me too.
for the sir. Very
Also surprised me. Thank you, Pebble.
I will just give a short bow and then also cross the room shortly behind you guys as Donatello leads you into essentially guest room through a hallway. Pebble shortly separates from you to go to what you presume is the kitchen to make some drinks. Yes, I have to say it. Pebble is the result of a mishap messing with some planar magic I was by no means ready for, but he wanted to see the world and more than happy to help me get about as a result of being provided an anchor here on the material realm. So
Well,
things all worked out.
And I mean, haven't we
yes.
all had that experience with planar magic?
Oh,
Finicky stuff.
yes, there's somebody else in my ear who opened a portal to the depths of the plane of water, shot out, highly pressurized, cut straight through 3 walls.
It does
Oh.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, ours was.
Thankfully,
we
nobody
had
got
someone-
hurt or cut in half, but
Mm-hmm. I had not in my class, but in the class above me, we had someone who managed to open something similar, some sort of tear to the elemental plane of wind, and it was a bit of a wreck. It blew off a portion of the academy's roof, and that was we had to do some all of our planar magic was done under strict supervision after that.
yes, that was a few years after I graduated, I believe. I didn't get all the details. I would love to hear about them sometime from you. And so you guys swiftly come to essentially a parlor slash guest room. and are led to sit down. So, while we wait for tea, please. I must profess I'm not skilled in divinatory magic. I did the required classes, but I am very much more a student of transmutation.
Of course, just having another set of eyes skilled in the arcane on the situation, it feels like it would be beneficial. And Oleander will give him the rundown, and you said there were like runes on their forehead during the fight, as well as like runes on the like symbols and scribblings on the door, right?
Yes, the
Oh, yeah.
scribblings are the door were essentially a lock that had been carved into that large stone door.
Okay.
Symbols on your forehead, you don't know.
Okay. I'm assuming that I can get like a pencil and paper. Oh, and I have my book. Greed, if you
Yeah.
wouldn't mind, did you get a good look at the whatever marks were on my head during that fight?
I mean, hard not to. She was glowing.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind just taking note of that while I
Yep.
go over this, that would be incredibly helpful.
Alright, yeah.
And while I'm talking, I will do like a try to transpose to the best of my ability as many of the symbols that I kind of remember. I'm not gonna try to recreate the pattern, but with the symbols, I want to do like draw the symbols in like just standard writing right to left across the page, and then try to just draw the symbol with lines just to avoid accidentally doing anything while I'm talking.
Okay, yeah. You don't want to like specifically altering the form so you don't accidentally trigger a spell.
Exactly. I'm not trying to accidentally fuck some shit up. So yeah, like writing down like whatever runes just right to left, and then trying to transcribe like the shape, like just in kind of plain lines while I'm talking, and kind of relay the dream to the best of my ability, before like sliding the paper across. I'm assuming there's like a coffee table of some sort.
Yeah.
This was sort of the gist of it. I obviously don't want to accidentally destroy your home or lock it down or anything of the sort. So these were they're not exact. It was a vision. It was all fairly hazy, and my vision didn't like to focus. But if this means anything to you, that would be just a light in the right direction would be fantastic.
DM, I also have a question. This
I
is-
may have an answer.
Oleander told Greed about the dream, but this is the first time he's seeing the runes, and given that he is a rune knight fighter, does anything about this look familiar?
I will say that you can make an Arcana check.
Okay. I have nothing in that skill.
Uh,
I will... Yeah, that's my boy!
19.
That's my boy!
I love that for you.
19.
Green is smart as fuck this session.
I don't know.
So, like, you are starting to grasp instinctually the heritage of your giant bloodline, of the runes that were carved into the world so that the giants may flee their dying one to come to this one, and the runes that allowed them to take on the shapes of what would come to be known as Goliaths. You see none of that here. This is a completely separate tradition. And on a 19, yes, this came further north in the direction of the crown. This is definitely an imperial lock. You know that they used, both based on your heritage and your time in the rebellion, that this is like very, very high level. There may be a handful of locations in the entire basin that would ever get the materials to have this pattern burned into them, and especially for one this large.
Well.
So real quick, I am going to roll for Donovan to see what they know
I
about all of this.
be saying out loud, saying, "Well, they're not giant runes, but I can tell you these are powerful for sure. I've been around the basin a couple times, and there's only, as far as I'm aware, there's only a few places that something this powerful could be made."
Right, you do work with runes.
Newly, but no,
And you
know.
see Donafel is like looking back and forth, like the spell that was inscribed, the pattern. It's like you can see like them scrolling through their mind for everything they studied to see if they could put this together. And so also building off of what you said, Greed. I may have an idea, although it didn't know that they. So clearly, this has something to do with the skull you saw. I mean, vision and sickness after seeing it, this symbol appearing on your forehead. Obviously, magic, something triggered it. Anything in your past like this?
DM, is there anything in my past like this? Like these spells? And I don't mean like in the arcane sense.
I mean, Oleander has forgotten quite a lot past him too.
Oh, yeah. Oleander does this, like, kind of pauses and has that, like... I almost want to compare it to talking to a doctor with your parents in the room. Like, this is information that I know I have to share with you to get the best care and information back possible, but the person who's here with me, I don't want to share it with them. That just kind of visceral discomfort.
Should I?
It's
I go?
fine. Don't worry about it, Greed.
Right.
I'm not
Alright.
sure. My memory has been less than reliable. Long-term memory is a challenge.
All right. Well, we are in a magic place. You got anything for that? I turned to Donafel.
I mean, quick tangent on this point. Maybe like it depends on the cause, because if it's something like, say, a curse or a run-in with some kind of artifact or interaction with some extraplanar entity and memories were twice, you can maybe do something. If it's like some kind of trauma or repression, you'd be better off seeing Stella and Tooney.
Oh, they're nice.
Yes, they are very nice. They make an excellent salsa, I must say. But
I'll go try that. All right.
anyways, so I assume you don't know what is causing this memory degradation then?
No, I would probably rule out the latter. My parents were lovely, unless it was something that I don't remember happening, like a traumatic event, like a singular event, perhaps, but I have no family issues, I was not abused. At least I don't think so.
Well, so likely magic,
That was my...
which,
yes.
so, so this, as Bree pointed out, this is Imperial, expensive Imperial.
Mm.
And so black and gold uniform, you said.
Yes.
Now, typically, well, Empire, they like their bright, ostentatious clothing, like lots of reds, purples, all that stuff. Blue is the royal color. The reason I paint my house the way I do is to give them the finger. Uh, there is one prominent organization that would easily have the resources, easily, that would reasonably have the resources for this and have that kind of uniform. And it, God, that name, it is something ostentatious. What was it? It was the Society. Yes, it was essentially their equivalent of the Academy, the Society of Grand Revelations, um, for the Empire to better conquer the world. I know I got the back half of that wrong. But point is, Society of Grand Revelations. Essentially, they said Academy, all their most prominent Arcanist equivalent are there. All of them purest blue bloods you can think of, highly inbred. But I mean, I was just a student. I don't have any access to records or anything. But I mean, these guys don't even have a good reputation among the Imperials. If one of them was, I mean, I assume if you're having this vision, then, like, have you ever left the basin?
Not that I remember. But again,
Right.
there's a high chance that I have, and I don't know. I'm missing
Right.
years.
Oh, years. Okay.
This isn't I have a hard time remembering details. This is I just have gaps. Large gaps.
Okay. That definitely gives me idea. Hey, I'll see if I have anything else. Not that it'll take time, but this. I mean, that. For. I don't know how the society could connect with that skull that you saw. Because it seems very strange that we wouldn't have heard anything during, I mean, Mr. Green, I'm sure that you would have been easily able to know if these folks had made any impact during the occupation. So it's, and then this symbol that was on your forehead, I don't recognize at all. I mean, honestly, it seems to be just shapes, but if it's also connected, maybe. Oleander, you certainly brought me a puzzle.
Trust me, I'm
Uh,
I'm confused as well.
Yeah, not to make light of your situation,
No, by all means, I understand.
way, but I mean, I have a small library here. I can go through that, see if I could find anything else, or, I mean, I assume you folks won't be here the entire time, so I could at least give you a direction when you leave.
I mean, we have just recently been deputized. We'll be here for a while.
Okay. So, if need be, I can send to back to the academy for any materials if I can find any hint.
That would be fantastic. And if you need any help going over what you have here, I'm, of course, happy to lend my eyes where they're needed.
Yes, by all means, feel free to stop by and browse my library. And, well, sorry, a bit of a long night trying to work on something. Well, it's a project I'm quite excited about.
Oh?
Yes, it's, well, as I'm sure you, being a spellcaster who, from the sounds of it, gets into quite a few tussles, is aware that when casting a spell, in a fight, there's maybe not always time to give it the full strength you can. Expediency, good enough now is better than perfect never.
Of course.
Well, while I do specialize in transmutation, I'm essentially putting what extra resources I have in devising a way to what I call maximizing a spell. Ensure that it is always as strong as you can get it. It is by no means perfect or safe. I am so far testing it simply with trolls, but you know, I'm excited. Fingers crossed.
Well, if you ever need any help testing, that certainly sounds like something up my alley. And I'm no stranger to playing with fire that I probably shouldn't be. I'm not sure if I mentioned I specialize in graviturgy, which I know is a bit new to the scene, but playing with the
It has
strings of
so
reality
much
itself.
potential.
It does, truly.
So yes, we will have to talk while you're still in town.
Absolutely.
And also, not that I'm by no means trying to kick you all out. I'm loving having you here. I do have a few items for sale if you're interested.
We would certainly love to take a look, and if, obviously, they may not be in the budget at the moment, but if they are at any point while we're here, we may stop by again.
By the way, where's
Yes.
Pebble?
So,
I haven't gotten my tea yet.
where is Pebble?
Pebble?
Perhaps the kettle is taking a while
Pebble?
to boil.
It's at this point that Pebble comes in,
There he is.
absolutely soaked,
Oh no!
with a tray of. There are 3 cups of tea on a tray. It smells heavenly, as does Pebble.
Oh,
It
he's
smells- Pebble, what happened? The
Pebble.
teapot fought back.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I thought I put it away. Yes. I was practicing transmuting inanimate objects to animate objects. And I guess
Wait.
I made
Oh.
it stick. I'm so sorry, Pebble.
So the teapot actually fought back. Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
poor guy.
It lies shattered.
Oh,
I
no!
am triumphant.
I
Well,
love
I
Pebble.
love Pebble.
We're gonna steal
I
Pebble.
love
the best
Pebble.
character in this campaign.
Pebble is the best.
We're
I
gonna
love
steal
Pebble.
You know this, guys, right? We're gonna take him with us.
We're stealing him.
That's our Pebble.
I thought he fell in the river. When you first said he was soaked, I thought he fell in the river outside.
Pebble fan art now.
Bro.
Pebble fan art.
But you have done well, Pebble. Thank you for your service and your
He's
tea.
not dead.
He's not dead. He's fine.
He has fought a battle and won just so we could have tea.
Oh
He
my
deserves
God.
respect. Damn it.
Oh, fuck you.
you disrespect Pebble like that?
No, I'm just respecting you.
Rip.
And thus disrespecting Pebble. I'm trying to respect Pebble.
Fuck you.
All right.
Yes, I assume that Oleander and the art of our lovely host will probably nerd out a little bit longer, but we have been monopolizing the time for a bit, so I will relinquish the spotlight to
So
anyone
real
who
quick,
desire it.
I'll just run through the list of what he has for sale. He has
Oh,
for
yes.
sale any first level spell as a scroll.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Goodies.
Okay.
Then for magic items, there are those 4 items, and he will gush about them.
Mhm.
So the first is a set of ever knitting needles.
Aw.
Over the course of an hour, they can make minor repairs and alterations, including color,
Oh.
to a cloth or leather outfit.
Hmm.
They may make major changes over the course of a day, but not repairs.
Okay.
The traveler's best compass. It always knows the time of day of every time zone in the basin. Always points north, even against magical interference. And if it is fed a map, it is permanently added to its collection, which it can display both the map and your location on it.
Oh hell
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
There is the Remembrance Stone, which is advantage on checks to recall information.
Hey, Leander, that would be good for you.
Yeah.
Well,
We found your item.
yay! It's my item. It's the
There
item for
are
me.
Soft boots that
Ah.
clean themselves over the course of a minute. They do not leave tracks, and they are always comfortable.
Ooh, the most important part.
They don't. Okay. And how much do these
Item
cost?
is 75 gold.
Okay.
It's actually not terrible for magic items.
I have 15. I spent all my gold. I spent the majority of my gold.
Still have 10 from the beginning of the session, which I don't think is correct, but
We did get paid quite a bit last time.
true. I'll
Uh,
have to do math later, and I'm assuming we can come back and do myself whatever.
Yes. So you guys will have downtime. Here, I'll just copy and paste the list of what's for sale both here and at Toonies
Perfect.
Into Discord.
okay. Well, do you guys remember how much we got paid for our job when we got back?
It was like. Oh, was it?
Good question.
It split up. It was like 20 gold or something like that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I think I did text. Oleander gets 62 gold and 5 silver.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go.
I did text it. I got you.
Thank you.
Well, might have to come back for that compass. But I don't have the money for any of these.
I don't either. Perhaps another time. But again, thank you so much for your hospitality, and
Yeah.
I will definitely be returning at some point to check out the collection as well as probably pick up that stone.
Not you, Pebble.
I will be happy to have you. And Pebble just bows as you leave.
Love him.
His clothes still soaked, but he is eventually dry by the time you do leave.
He smells like tea.
I love that for
He
him.
does. So we are going to transition to Saya, who early in the morning goes to travel around the woods.
Yep. Side do be patrolling.
All right.
What the fuck does that mean, space? Oh.
Oh, so we can
Oh.
make plushies.
True. But yeah, Saya's very much kind of like just patrolling around the forest, trying to keep herself busy. but also just using this kind of like time to not panic, but also just kind of like try to get used to her new transformation. Like, it, she's trying to make sure that she's not gonna lose control of it.
All right.
'Cause she's not sure if
So
the partial is gonna do anything, so she's nervous TM.
okay. So you're just going to attempt transformation out here.
Yeah, kind of just like test things out, see how it feels. Because she's honestly like, how the fuck am I doing this when I'm on my medicine, on my fucking medication?
Okay. So
Not at all happy about this.
okay, so imagine you go out not too far into the woods, but enough to be obscured from sight.
Yeah.
And like the guards do give you a warning as you leave, and like they have to lower the gates because they do have them pulled up while they're not doing anything outside, uh, just in case.
Yeah, like
But it's like you were one of the people who went out and got word and evidently dealt with something worse. So they're by no means going to keep you in, especially if you're a deputy.
Yes, I was just like very much like, listen, like, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna be patrolling. Just let me out. Like, not in the mood to fucking argue about this.
So you get out into the woods, and so you ever since that fight happened and you felt those instincts call up, they've almost been not scratching but present in the back of your mind, small little twinges that by no means force you to react in any sort of way, but you're aware of them.
Okay.
And so you out here where it's safe, you relax as much as you can. And you begin to call those instincts up. And almost like a wolf slowly approaching the fire, they become more present in your mind. And as the two halves of your mind begin to circle one another, your conscious control and these instincts, they come closer and closer together, walking towards each other until there is just you. And in that moment, what does this partial transformation look like?
I feel that there's definitely kind of like a more definitely like claws coming out, fangs, like more of like a like more not more teeth, but like more teeth, you know, like more sharp canines and everything like that, more less of like the humanoid, like more molars and sharp, but it's just more wolf mouth. Kind of like more rough skin, like almost as if patch, like it's like harder skin, kind of like and darkening in spots, but not really, not going furry, you know. There's not too much change, I think, at the beginning. It's mostly just more like tougher build, hard, like can take more hits, and can do more damage with the physical parts of her body, kind of thing.
Okay. And so you feel this change come upon you, and you feel that those instincts spread out almost like a second layer of skin with this transformation. But now there is no need in this moment. There's no insistence. They're present, most definitely. They are, but there's no distinction. There is just Saya. And so here in these woods, where the beast and the woman have come together to a degree, at the very least, under the blessing of one of the moons. In this patrol, as you begin to test out what exactly you are capable of, is it a slow, methodical thing, or is it a mad dash, always running, always going full tilt?
I think there's Saya wants to relax into it because it's something that she's always known, but there's that caution knowing what consequences can come of it. So it's hesitant, kind of just slowly taking steps further into it, going into a jog more, using like smelling the air, trying to use her other senses instead, and just slowly easing into it.
All right. As you're running, give me a perception check.
With advantage because of my, or because heightened
Is the
senses, you
only
gain
sword-
advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or smell.
Yes.
Cool.
19. As you're running, keeping to the edges of the forest, looking for anything that might cause harm, you do catch a smell of something. Something young, human. 3 of them. Not quite heading deeper into the forest yet.
Sorry, it's heading into the forest?
Seems to.
So I'm probably gonna try to at least understand what it is first before kind of like pushing it out of her mind, just to see what is in the area. But not looking to attack, so I will be going for a stealthy approach.
All right. Roll stealth.
That's not bad.
Okay. So you begin to follow this scent. And all too quickly, you hear raised voices, higher pitched, the voice of children. Voices you recognize.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's the shit little kids
Oh no.
from the bar.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Aw.
Yes. You, going deeper into the woods, do find the 3 children of the bar owners, the barrels. Young, all the oldest at 8, 6, and 5. Timothy, Benny, and Sarah uh, yelling about how they're going to kill all the monsters. They're going to save the town,
Oh no.
wielding stick swords, swiping at each other, finding it hilarious, the two youngest, to gang up on their older brother and keep smacking him in the butt.
Oh no.
Aw.
They do not see you, they do not hear you. They are absorbed in their fun.
Okay. How far away from the town are they?
They are outside the walls. They're not quite half a mile out.
I need to look
But-
about how much half a mile is. Hold on.
So decently far.
That's almost a kilometer. That's very far.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not good. And with how loud they're being, it's probably easy to assume that they're probably gonna be attracting attention to themselves.
You found them.
Sai is just gonna kind of like stay in the underbrush and make sure that they don't get hurt. But they're not gonna go and be like, hey, go back home. That's not what Siren really does.
Okay. You're going to be following these kids for a while.
Yeah, after an hour, the transformation does fade back, so.
Okay. So yeah, you are following these kids for about, an hour. As they're having fun, they're running themselves ragged. Then as they begin to tire out, hear them talking. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. Yeah, it's probably time to go home, huh? Yeah. But we didn't find any monsters. Yeah, and one of them picking at the ground. But Mom is probably gonna be worried now. Yeah. Alright, let's go home. Which way is home, though? And you see the three begin to look around. And you see as it sets in, they don't know where they are.
Oh, please.
Fucking children. Oh my god.
You gotta interact with them.
Yeah. Sai gets up and kind of like after making sure that like her transformation is she looks not even scarier, you know, and like brushing herself off, but will walk over to the kids and kind of just like give them a look like really seeking out of the walls.
Scary lady! And the other two, scary lady!
Excitedly or in fear?
Excitedly.
Oh my, Sai just looks
Aw.
uncomfortable again, like, oh, okay.
Are you here to help us kill the monsters?
No, I'm here to take you home.
Well, we want to kill the monsters. Like, a lot of other people gotta do it. Like, there was this big fight at the lumber yard. There were like these giant trees that came because the forest is angry. We're chopping it down. When we, according to the brother, we did all the right supplications, so it's a full forest. So it's like they all took like giant lumber axes, like swung them one in each hand, and you see the oldest Timothy is just miming having a axe in each hand and
Mhm.
just swinging them in front of him while his siblings go, yeah, yeah.
She's just like watching this and just frowns, like arms crossing over her chest. It's like, you want to know what the first thing of monster hunting is. You need to be able to listen and be aware of your surroundings. Do you know how long I was following you?
They all just stare silently at you.
Over an hour. Do you know what could have happened if it was something else? You could have been hurt. If you truly want to be of help, stay inside town where you can be taken care of. Slowly work your way to build your strength up. Study. Learn the weaknesses of all these different creatures. You need to know what you're going up against. How to fight them, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. You can avoid them.
As you've gone on, they've all kind of like definitely gone into that like pose of childish remorse, like looking down at the ground, fists balled, trying not to cry, sniffing, wiping at their eyes. I'm sorry. Courses out in three voices.
Kind of just like rubs her face, like, just, I'm not the one to be apologizing to. Let's get back home.
They all just kind of sullenly nod.
And I'll kind of like,
Give me a survival check.
Okay, oh no. So, I'm a fiend, technically, as a tiefling, right?
It does not apply.
What happened?
I wanted to use my own tracks to follow my way back home.
This isn't for that.
Oh,
You're gonna find your way back, no problem.
okay.
Yeah, you weren't
It's
lost.
if
This-
something finds you first.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20, you make it back A-okay. You march them right back up to Oak Barrel Inn, past worried guards, right up in the face of their mother and father, who waste no time in giving them a talking to, more than you already did. And a heartfelt thank from the Oak Barrel parents.
Sai just gives like a grunt and then just turns around to leave.
All right. Yeah. And so we're going to call a quick bio break.
Bio break.
Oh, good.
Now
yeah,
you're gonna be a
when we
little
get
piss
back-
boy.
Nayuri is
need
going
to
to talk
go.
business.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, be right back, nerds. Hey. Did you scream?
We're back, world.
Hello.
Did who scream?
Yes, I did.
Kenner's
I
just
couldn't-
making fucking noises again.
It's what I do.
Oh.
I'm a silly little guy who apparently is very easy to bully and pick on.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you are.
It's because I have such funny reactions. I make people want to do it. I
Right.
kick a can down
I
the
think
street.
that's exactly it.
Yeah, no, you're spot on.
All right.
Amiri, it's your turn.
So,
It
Yeah.
is indeed.
Nymeria, you
Yeah.
go on a trip. You have been invited to the Dermic estate to
Indeed.
talk about possible business arrangements. So, you are walking along on a well-trod road, uh, not paved, but well-worn, somewhat raised off the ground, clear of any debris and plants. And so, sorry, I suddenly got very tired.
That's a mood.
That is a mood indeed.
So, you are coming up, and you're probably about a 30-minute walk, just past where 45-minute walk where you just can't see the village anymore. You start coming to some picturesque farmland. It is early in the year, so there isn't anything full grown just yet. But stalks are starting to shoot up, golden wheat spreading across. And you see off in the distance somewhat a large fortified manor. But before that, you see various people, most of them gnomes, actually, working the fields, checking on plants, making sure everything is ready. The sowing is done. It is not yet time for the reaping. But it's just to keep on top of things as people repair irrigation systems, check for disease or pests. The land is well here, and you can feel that beneath your toes.
Okay.
And eventually, you come up to a large and expansive structure that you saw. A very thickly built, fortified manor. It is all stone on the first floor, but where it goes into like a very deep, rich wood on top of that. That kind of has balconies sprawling out and leaning over to give some shade. And you see various barns for farm animals and silos ready and set up. And you have gotten some stairs as you've been approaching, but people have mainly been keeping an eye on their movement.
I mean, I'm sure they're not too used to seeing somebody of my size or complexion around.
That is one way to phrase it, yeah.
Well, so there's this. It's the one that I spoke to, like it's what 2 months back now, at least IRL time.
IRL time, yeah.
Yeah, was. Were they the head of the family or the group?
They were extending an invitation upon from the head of the family.
Oh yes, the invitation was from the head of the family. And did you say that So there's big fields. Did you say that the manor was also there? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Yes, it is big. Despite being gnomes, you see it is the door at least. All the doors and windows you see are sized for uh, average humanoids.
Okay.
Uh, so you can come up and you are at the entrance at the very least. What would you like to do?
Is there any sort of guards, or is it just the doors there?
Yeah, it's like you see people moving about, going about their work, um, but no guards that you can see.
All right, then I guess I'm just gonna go. Just gonna grab the first person that is closest to me, the first of the person just walking about and around. Just be like, hello, excuse me, and sort of wave my invitation a little bit that I have. Or wait, I forget. Was I given an actual physical letter of invitation? I don't think. I
Yes,
was.
you were.
Yes, I was. No, I definitely was. Okay. Not remembering things wrong. Good. Then I say, I have an invitation to meet the head.
Yes.
How else
Oh,
would I
and
find them?
you approached a relatively older gnomish woman, short, curled hair that's actually green, very rough and leathery skin. About a little over 3 feet tall, still very much like she has worked in the field for a long time. Uh, says, oh, you must be that druid that we heard about, wasn't it? Village, you're actually real. That is so good. Yes, yes, you were an invitation, and she hands some stuff off to another gnome that she was actually talking to, visibly younger man. Says, yeah, go send that off to Sophia. She'll take care of it. Yes, I can take you to the matriarch real very quickly. And you hear yelling off in the distance. I also have to deal with that. And wait, and that man that she just handed things off to is already sprinted away. She's that had to be helpful. Mm. And so she's kind of looking about. Wow. Gum, gum, and you see she's yelling at a youngish gnome woman with long, wavy red hair off in the distance, who is about a foot taller than her. And she looks over. I need to go deal with that. I'm sure Humphrey has gotten up to something again. Please take our guest here to the matriarch. They have business to discuss. And I'm truly sorry, young lady. But Humphrey, we love him. He's family, but sometimes that makes it worse. And she quickly begins power walking away.
Well,
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm Gallon. Pleasure to meet you, Miss.
in Nymeria, it's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Well, please follow me. Their grandmother is likely. Oh, where would she? It is. Probably. Yes. Yes, it is time for her treatments. I'll show you right this way. Please follow me. And she begins going into the manor if you choose to follow.
Certainly will.
So you are, and she's like opening the door to let you in and beginning to head inside. So you are a druid, truly.
Yes, indeed, I am. I could say I am a worshipper and understander of the land. I've been training for this quite a long time in my life.
His grandmother always spoke highly of her time working with the caravans. It, well, it, despite how tough times were, she always does have a look in her eyes when she remembers. But
Oh, that's quite sweet.
as well, if you were with the caravans, if it's not impolite to ask, why are you uh, separate from right now? Is it something of a rite of passage to assemble your own, or
Yeah, something to that effect. It's well, you see, my role, I was trained to take up a particular role in the caravan, the shamanistic role. But we had multiple apprentices, and I was sadly the youngest and least experienced, and as such, when it was time for me to grow into adulthood, I could not take the position of new shaman as it was already taken, and as such, I wish to go out on a journey to perhaps become a shaman in perhaps a different caravan that may need it, or perhaps start my own.
she has a very wistful look on her face as you say that. That sounds wonderful, really. I'd love to travel some more someday myself. Don't hardly ever get to visit Cookpot as it stands, but I do love my family, so here I am. But is there any particular trials that go with founding a new caravan? But uh, do you, how are traditions changed as you assume the mantle yourself? And she just begins, she's leading you up the stairs in what's now quite clearly a gnome-sized portion of the building, as you begin to have to stoop to get through. Uh,
Fun.
and you see, for what would be average humanoids, 3 floors, is roughly a 5-story building. Uh, and as you are led further, you are just bombarded with questions.
I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability.
Yeah. And Galm takes for that as much as she can before leading you to a door knocking. Sorry. Grandmother, that business proposition you had that you talked about over dinner a few nights ago. Well, the other person is here. They've accepted your invitation. Well, let them in. Yes, grandmother. And it was very nice meeting you, Miriam. I hope we get to talk more, but well, I should probably go help clean up after Humphrey. Have a nice day.
Yes, thank you, you as well. I'm sure we'll have the chance to meet again. Fate does tend to work that way, doesn't it?
She gets a sad look to her eyes. Maybe. If fate is kind. And walks away. And you are left with an open door to this person who sought you out for business.
All right. Well, I head inside, huddled as I have to be.
All right. You are faced with a well furnished room. Not ostentatious, but everything here is of quality. All gnome sized. Uh, but still, even for a gnome, it's not the largest room. It's cozy, covered with knickknacks, and like what you clearly see are like almost a bunch of children's first drawings spread across one wall, uh, like various carvings on another that are clearly rough in people's first attempts, but displayed all the more proudly for it on a shelf in another. And seated there is a very old gnomish woman, hair long gone gray and just a little bit patchy, uh, very, very sun-beaten skin, uh, rough hands, and you see she has the sleeve of one leg rolled up above her knee, as she is reattaching a rather thick prosthesis on her right knee. Yes, come in, come in. I was so excited to hear that there was a druid in town. It's been so long since I have talked to one of the caravans, to one of the speakers.
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I do like a little bow, but I'm already assuming sort of squatting and sort of bending down because of the size of the room. Anyway, but I try and still do a little bow anyways.
Please, please, there's no need for that. Please, take a seat.
All right. Well, I guess I try and I sit down. And I assume the chair is a little small, or the whatever seating there is.
It is a bit smaller of a chair.
All right. Well.
Well, I, my dear, am Salman. I'm the matriarch of the Durks. We were here when it was just the village of Crossing. We were here fighting the Empire when they burnt the village to the ground. And we were here when it was time for Second Crossing.
Quite the legacy then.
Seen it all, and I've done it all. And she just kind of taps her prosthesis. So, what is your name, miss?
It's Nymeria Etoile.
Nymeria, it is a pleasure to have you under my roof.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to meet somebody else who holds some positive feelings towards the caravans, my home.
Yeah. Well, worked with them long enough during the occupation, helping them essentially be the end of the path further into the woods, getting people out of the interior. Those were some dark days, but we made it. Made a lot of good friends, learned a lot of good things. And look, we are the wealthiest family in the area. Grow the most food, provide the best care. Dermic's a lot to be proud of. We owe a lot of that to the caravans and what they chose to share with us. Which is reason when I reached out that, well, in a bar fight, that was maybe a bit more excessive due to those damn McCormicks, as always. There was a Dragonborn at the same time, so felt I had to take the chance. And here you are, chance paid off. So, well, no point beating around the bush. And she claps her hands together. Now, I know that this is by no means guaranteed, but given your connection with the land, I was wondering if we could see about getting your help in improving the land itself. We've gone as far as we can with mundane skill and tools. We irrigate best we can, rotate, keep the land itself fed and healthy. Now, given the opportunity, I was hoping to maybe add some magic for that.
Hmm. Well, I can certainly do my best. Us druids are less so caretakers of farmlands, but nonetheless, I think my connection to nature could be of some benefit here. If there, so you mentioned that the land is, you've done everything you can, but is there anything in particular causing strife or issues? Is it just the crop yields could always be bigger, or or the droughts are too common? Is there anything in particular?
That's all well managed. It's and so stepping back a bit mechanically, Nymeria,
Mhm.
what is being asked for is a ritual to maybe make a bumper harvest. If it's a one-off, you'll get paid less. If it's continuous, you'll get paid with every harvest. As it stands, for every 10 pounds of extra harvest that they have, you get paid 10 gold.
Okay.
Right now, at the every harvest, they're bringing in about 2 tons of produce. That's their average right now.
2 tons. Okay.
So
Hmm.
they're willing to cover up to 75 worth of gold pieces to design and cast a ritual. Now, there's no spell for this in the 5th edition handbook, not really. Not that anything's fun. So, it doesn't have to be right now in this session, right at this moment. But, Nymeria, if you want to, you want to take on this job, you can design a ritual. You can tell me what you want to try, what you want to achieve, and I'll help you build that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you just want to have some time to think about it between sessions, you can just leave the Dermix with a preliminary agreement, and we'll just have to rewind time once something concrete has been built.
Yeah, I definitely want some time because I want to consider this. Ooh, possibilities. Yeah, I think for now I'll say essentially into this fine matriarch. Yes, I think that today at least I'll simply go and observe the lands and try and assess it. And I believe afterwards I'll be coming back at a soon date in order to complete the work. Does that sound like a suitable arrangement?
That it does. And she puts out a hand to shake.
Alright. I give it a firm handshake.
All right. So you go out as your farmland. You begin in your mind, at the very least, maybe you get some paper from the family, but you begin to build a ritual. And just because my throat is starting to hurt. I do think that's where we're going to have to end downtime and the session.
Okay. That. All right. Yeah, that worked out fairly well. Space had to run to the bathroom.
Yes.
Not pissed.
So,
Shameful.
so we will just end with another stinger.
Oh no.
It is the day after your guys' downtime, the day you expect the caravan to arrive back with the head brother of the church. And we see mid-morning, further along the river, a barge just poles going in to the sides of the bank and pushing it along, crewed mainly by halflings, chattering away, and keeping an eye out, but they expect things to be safe. They've gotten so far they're only a few hours out from town. What could go wrong? A rain of fire falls from the sky,
Wow.
shot
Oh.
from beyond the edges. Almost look like blazing arrows sink into the barge. Several people are hit. A few people outright die.
This is not the right music for this.
And as the fire begins to spread and smoke rises in the sky, there is squealing coming from the bank. Squealing of pigs.
What?
Yeah, what the hell?
What? Random flaming arrows came from the sky, and the pigs are freaking out. What is happening?
What the fuck?
What? So is there just a flaming barge drifting down the river towards us now?
Tune in next time to see what happens, folks.
Oh my god.
How dare you?
Fuck. Alright, well,
Easily.
Well, we're the deputies. We got to deal with it.
unless,
Unless what?
Unless we leave.
you know,
We
as a
could just
tree, it'd be
leave.
kind of funny.
Let's just leave. Let's leave.
Alright. Well, good game. Thank you, DM. It was nice
Yeah.
to get the crew back together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Pound, boys are back in pound.
Everybody do the time warp again.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I get sucked into a
Oh
portal.
my god. Alright. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye
Say
bye.
goodbye, children.
Goodbye, world.
Bye, children.
I was saying that
Bye.
you're the child.
No.
Yes.
Bye, children.
No, you're the child.
Goodbye, children.
Child, no.
Infants.
Fetus.
I punt this fetus.
You punt Pebble. How dare you?
No, I don't punt Pebbles.
I don't know.
You punt Pebble and I catch him.
Goodbye.
You try to
His
punt
googly
Pebble.
eyes shake violently back and forth.
Alright.
I love that he has googly eyes.
Alright, I'm finishing this. Goodbye.
Bye bye.